And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Aries! Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Coin. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a side quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, individual reads are back up and running, so message or email, link is in the bio, and yeah, we can set that up, okay? What we're looking at in this round of reads, Aries, if you recognize this formation for those who are visiting again, is your first and last for the month of February. First and last is a style of reading that I do where aces are on top, tens are at the bottom, and represented by each element, water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords respectively, each indicating, hey, this is where we are, where we were, and where we're going. Transition from one month to the next, one time period to the next, one space to the next, right? And the top with the aces, what's new, right? New ideas, new ventures, new opportunities, or renewal, depending on the context, who knows. And at the bottom, tens, conclusions, culminations, ultimatums, endings, right? What have we learned? What have we come to grips about? As a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to purposely misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, that's not why I put the level of work that I do into this. It's rather the fact that where we are and where we're going, we lay all our cards out on the table. Good, bad, rain or sunshine, and we talk about it, right? Because at the end of the day, it is going to be a conversation. So follow along with me in your read today, Aries. First and last for the month of February. Yeah. Let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with the Ace of Cups. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, to find that Ace of Cups in the read. For Aries, first and last, what about emotional fulfillment is to be found? Oh, that didn't hit the table. I thought it would. So the cards we need to see, please. We're starting with the Ace of Cups in this read for Aries. Over here. Ten of Cups. Okay. Harmony and synchronizing. That the people and everything that we're encountering, it wasn't easy, but it is making sense. And that's it's kind of difficult. That Ten of Cups, let me explain, is different. Tongue twisters and tongue ties today. The Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles are different, whereas the Ten of Pentacles is more like your roots and your foundation and just where you're going based off of experience. The Ten of Cups represents, the stars are aligning, right? Things are lining up, they're making sense. And that also represents the people and experiences and everything around you that genuinely supports you. You're in your right place. Now, why is this Ten of Cups under this Ace of Cups? That's so interesting because I thought this turned out upright. Okay. Interesting that we embrace it. Nine of Swords in the reverse. And that came up in another read. Normally, between all the reads, I shuffle the decks a lot to make sure that, energy is clear. And yet, this one came out again. How so? Page of Pentacles. So, how do I word this? We're embracing a challenge. That's the first and foremost obvious thing that's happening right now. And the only thing that we're saying is, hey, if nothing else, we could try, right? That Page of Pentacles and that Ten of Cups, we are having an optimistic and positivistic outlook towards something that we understand. Yeah, it happened almost exactly as I predicted it would. Right? The Nine of Swords in the reverse is not pretty because what we originally had anxieties and fears about, hey, it came true. And what we're left with is the reality that, hey, I can do my best still. Maybe I'm in the right place at the right time. Maybe this is all making sense for me. And I have to look at it with a different standpoint, a different viewpoint. Maybe that will give me the inspiration and innovation that I need to have an epiphany of how to move from point A to point B right now. So yes, there is a daunting challenge ahead of you. And simultaneously, you're up for the fight, Aries. most Aries things I ever heard in my life, but you are up for that challenge now. Next, to the Ace of Pentacles. What about solidifying new opportunity that shows itself? Show us cards we need to see, please, for Aries in this read. Nice, but they hit the table, so I can't take. Show us cards that we need to see, please, for Aries in this read today. Cool, that was fast. Next to the Ace of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Okay. An opportunity to rejuvenate, rest, relax, and just kind of get yourself together. Why so? Wheel of Fortune, that things inevitably will change with time. How so? Nine of Wands. Okay. So, a new opportunity that's presented itself for you to take a breather. I don't know if this is more career-oriented at this point, Aries, but I'm just going to go with my gut feeling of what I'm seeing right now. That Four of Swords, yeah. Now that we've gotten over a hurdle or a hump or whatever, challenge was previously in front of us, part of us knows that things eventually will change with time. Does that make it easy? Absolutely not. And that's because the Nine of Wands here, underneath that Ace of Pentacles, you're going to get out what you put into this. So work well, but also don't burn yourself out, right? We can give our best and also have our own needs for our best, right? I don't want you to ignore your basic needs in order to get whatever, challenge that is in front of you done. The mountain will still be there to climb tomorrow. It will. And so that Wheel of Fortune underneath that Ace of Pentacles saying, yeah, things can and will change for the better. What you put into it is what you're going to get out. Struggle and struggle well. Ace of Wands. Shows the cards we need to see, please, in Aries' home element of fire. What about the fire that emboldens the spirit? Shows the cards we need to see, please, for Aries on the Ace of Wands. Temperance, card Sagittarius. Okay. So that's so nice. It's like we were Oh yeah. Okay, so why am I having this reaction? I'll draw two more cards, but I'm going to say exactly what I thought anyways. Yep, Nine of Cups. Giving the best of ourselves, understanding what it means to approach with passion, and the Sun. Brighter days lie ahead of us. And this is what I'm saying. I'm getting the sense this is more career-oriented, Aries, but you have been running off fumes, right? Whatever project you've been putting yourself into, whatever reality that you've been dealing with, because there was a daunting task that played out almost point by point like you predicted, and you were reaching your energetic and wit's end with it. I totally get that, right? I'm saying that because with this over here, that new opportunity that comes when you finally get a chance just to breathe, relax, do what you need to for you, and prioritize your own needs while also giving that effort. And then over here, you're saying that it's a good thing because at least I could predict it. And therefore, when I could predict it, I'm up for that challenge. When we have all that, in our purview, we're also saying within me, I'm giving my best. I feel like I'm internally recalibrating, and there will be brighter days tomorrow because I put myself through this challenge willingly and intentionally. Words. I did the right thing. It was not easy. It was not fun. But right now, while I give myself that small chance to recuperate, I'm going to hit it twice as hard tomorrow. There's this just embracing of happiness in the challenge, but even more so the notion of I'm becoming a better me in that process, right? All that to say that, yeah, whatever you went through was not fun at all. I'm getting more career-oriented vibes, just to be totally honest here. But you stuck yourself through that challenge. You finished it. And now you're saying, okay, I like it. I like the view from the top of this mountain. There will always be another mountain to climb. I'll rest right now. But you see that big mountain over there? That's what we're aiming for next. Glad for punishment, but hey, that's how life is sometimes. To the Ace of Swords, what about truth and by extension challenge for Aries in this read? Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Upon the Ace of Swords for Aries in this first and last read. Okay, that's a break. Why are we breaking? So it's cards that we need to see, please. Well. Okay. I'm going to take this as sideways just because of the way it was coming out. The Queen of Pentacles sideways. What is comfort? But even more so, what is purpose behind that comfort, right? And it's like we work so hard and, what is it all worth and for? That's for us to define, right? I think we put our labor as a substitute for our truth. And when that happens, it oftentimes goes downhill because it leads to burnout, right? Why do we do what we do? When we remember that, everything gets a lot easier. What is located with that Ace of Swords? And so coupling the Queen of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, life is what you make it. Every day, put out, every day, get back. Hangman, you'll only be able to see it in hindsight. Right now, keep moving, keep doing the right thing. Is it easy? No. Is it necessary? Yeah. Right. You're not going to be able to fully appreciate it, not simply because of your modality of execution, Aries. You attack the problem straight on. You got through it, even if you were almost at your stage of, man, F this place, F this job, whatever, right? You're still having an adamant spirit about you that says, I can. Now just let me sleep, let me rest, let me do what I need to. But when it comes to your truth, yes, you got over one challenge, and I do commend that. I do appreciate that. And simultaneously, we're only going to see value where we recognize that value can be. So that Hangman is also trying to, really learn that lesson, really trying to have observation over, I got over one challenge. I'm just hurdling and throwing myself into the next. So what does life have to offer me if nothing but endless challenges, right? We're only going to get out what we put in, but once we put in every day and recognize the worth of what we're doing, it makes it so much better and so much more fulfilling. Underneath it all, strength, the card of Leo. And so the power of perseverance, I'm seeing that in spades for you right now, right, Aries? But more than that, finding the purpose behind it. Why do I do what I do? What am I doing it for? Okay. Going down to the tens, let's look at the Ten of Cups. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aries in this week to find that Ten of Cups. What are the cards that we need to see, please? Aries in this week on the Ten of Cups. Okay. Two of Swords. So, yeah. Hold on. Five of Pentacles. Right. Confusion and the notion that we still got something wrong, or the fact that we're coming from a space of desperation and impoverishment. Page of Swords. The hope is that once we finish whatever challenge we would have all the answers. That's why we did it, right? It's not that we haven't learned anything, but it did not exactly pan out the way that we thought it would, right? That Ten of Cups, and I'm still tying that to that Ten of Cups directly above, defining that Ace of Cups, Aries, is that where you're harmonizing and what you're realizing right now is that, yeah, I can put myself through a grueling gauntlet, right? Trials and tribulations, and by the end say, why am I here, right? If you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, there's a section in the movie where he was running across America, and then, he had followers and, this entire media phenomenon for the main character of that story. And at one point he just stopped running and said, I think I'm done running now. Right? And the entire following, the news team, the crew and everything, they were like, wait, so what are you doing it for? I think you're hitting that kind of moment right now, Aries, where you definitely realize you did it the hard-headed way. And that's okay. That is okay. If that's what it took, hey, you're here now. It is what it is. But to get over the hurdle, to get over the hump, to banish all confusion, to observe and actually learn, yeah, Did we do it the easiest way? Nah. Did we do it the way that helped us the most internally? Yeah. We just had to do it the absolute most difficult way possible. And so whatever happened, it played out exactly as we thought it would. And that's why we had to respond equally with a level of ferocity in that challenge. But now when we have the opportunity to rest and take our step back and observe, yeah, could it be coming from the place of desperation? Could it be coming from confusion of, hey, I don't know what else better to do, so let me do it my way this time. All those things can be true at once. And now that you have had, gotten over that hurdle, how do we properly approach without burning ourselves out? How do we properly approach without saying that there's nothing to be learned? We just got to get from point A to point B. Appreciate your time at the summit, at the peak, okay? Ten of Pentacles. So let's cards we need to see. Please define the Ten of Pentacles for Aries in this read. What defines the Ten of Pentacles for Aries in this read today? Foundation and the Tree of Light. Four of Cups. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. What goes along with that Four of Cups in this read? Two of Wands. And yep, Three of Cups. Okay. So, two things. And two things can be true at once. A, I'm the only person who's going to save me at the end of the day. Right. Intentionality with what we want to found, the people we want to meet, and the disappointment that's had when things don't add up for us. The only person that's going to change that in my life is me. And what I think that's, again, well, in hindsight, you're kind of kicking yourself for this, Aries, because dang, I really did that again. I really did the absolute hardest way possible. For you, you're also going to come to a point of acceptance of being like, I did this because I had to not only prove to myself that I could do it, but more than that, realize that, hey, if I want to get to where I want to get to, then the only person who's going to defeat my apathy and change my attitude and have that attitude adjustment is me, right? I'm going to go through my way, going to do it my method. And maybe I'll appreciate it by the end, maybe I won't, who knows. But I got to do this right now, the ways that I know how. The only way I can get rid of that apathy, that disappointment, that, wow, things really aren't going the way that I wanted them to, versus that Three of Cups of either meeting the people that you want and need in your life, or just having, better social outings and social skills and connections. It still comes back to the fact that I had to get through this, even if I had to, buckle up and go for a dangerous ride. I'm here now. And I'm going to take that experience with me. I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I have to come from that space of, hard attacking response again. But I do want to know that I have it within me to change. It is more than possible if I allow myself to be. Okay, next to the Ten of Wands. So this card that we need to see, please, upon the Ten of Wands in this reading. What about the burdens that are carried? All that is still held. So it's cards that we need to see, please, upon the Ten of Wands in this journey. Ace of Wands. Okay, so now that the fire is reignited, and I'm tying that to back up here, Aries. Now that the fire is reignited, what's next? Because we can approach another difficult challenge. We're gearing up for it energetically, physically, whatever. But more than that, we're able to say we could probably do it better or right this time. Sun pops out right again, right? Because as we define ourselves, we make our own happiness. Nine of Swords. And so I'm counteracting that to the Nine of Swords back here, whereas the situation was more reactive. Here, your burdens don't always have to culminate into a fear. It doesn't always have to be a fear response. It doesn't always have to be rooted in trauma and, just a state of, panic and reaction. Sometimes it's just meant to remind you that happiness is there too, right? That sun is really shining hard down and trying to get, those Nine of Swords laid to rest, because you can do better energetically than just reacting from panic, right? The burden that we have to sit with is how we do that productively and right now, right? How do we do that right now? To the Ten of Swords. So those cards that we need to see, please. Find that Ten of Swords for Aries in this read. Defines the Ten of Swords for Aries in this read today. Queen of Cups. Okay. And why so? What are we learning about when we actually unearth the best of ourselves here? The Page of Wands. We can make our own happiness. Again, kind of redundant, but here optimism may be small, but it's still very near. Ten of Cups. Got it. Harmony does not always have to be rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes it involves me having to do it the hardest way possible. And yeah, it doesn't always have to be neat and even, but it does have to be there. When I can look back and say, yeah, we could have probably done this better, right? I saw it, I reacted, I got the job done, but this had a really lasting impact on me. When I could sit there and analyze all those truths at once, I'm looking at Aries who's also saying, yeah, maybe I'm where I need to be. I didn't know I'd get here, but I'm still at the peak. Let's recalibrate, let's reanalyze, and let's do it right next time. Three of Wands, the expectation of the new, expectation of the next, expectation of the horizon. We're powering ourselves through to get to where we want to be, right? We accomplished whatever goal this was set out to be. Now, what is next? Next in this read, define the major arcana strewn across the table for Aries. We will first look at the Wheel of Fortune. What defines the Wheel of Fortune within this read today? What defines a Wheel of Fortune in today's read? What was bound to change with time? We start here. The Magician, that I can make this change, that I can make it work out. I just need the tools in my toolkit. Again, I'm looking at somebody who is almost like, I'm trying to figure out the most non-offensive way to say this, and trust me, as an Aries, we're in the same boat. I have my tools. I know the situation that's in front of me. A rock is still a rock. I'm looking at an Aries who says, do you really want to do it my way? Because if you do it my way, you're going to have to, it's not going to be the funnest way ever, right? So that Wheel of Fortune, I know I can do it. I know I can change things with time. I know that it will get better. But right now, we got to do the tough stuff. And it's not pretty, and it's not fun, but it is still there. I'm only going to get out what I put in. So let me get me right and proper for whatever challenge is coming up. Next to Temperance, the Fool, and a new beginning was bound to start, right? Trusting in the signs that you saw, trusting that your actions were right, even if they could have been, very jarring or very grating. That's how we get there. To the Sun, Queen of Swords, and now happiness right at our doorstep. I mean, when you worked out hard to climb the mountain and enjoy the peak, doesn't matter what way you did it, right? Next to the Hangman, Nine of Swords. Interesting that still comes out, because that version of the Hangman is still, very wary and on the lookout, as if, you want to stomp out any forms of anxiety, but that's not how that works, right? Claiming that everything's perfect and that trying to take control of everything Aries, it means we have no control at all, right? So the Hangman, two things can be true at once. We can look at, the anxieties and fears that got us to this place and made us go the absolute hardest route possible. Or we can say, that's still on my radar, but it's not consuming me. And that's a state I hope that you eventually do get to. Next, there was one down here. The Sun. The Hangman. Interesting, because we just talked about the definition of the Hangman with that Nine of Swords. Now underneath the Sun, located twice underneath your fire, anxieties are there, but so is happiness. Enjoy the peak. Enjoy the peak. Resolution. Real cards of resolution for Aries in this read. Let's tell the space of resolution for Aries in their read today. Break. What do we need to see, please, in the space of resolution for Aries in this read today? Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity has now presented itself. Solidly, truly, we did what we had to. Now let's enjoy. Nine of Cups, my own self-fulfillment. Who writes this story? Me. A wish granted. Three of Cups. And maybe you get to meet somebody who shares that intentionality with you. Who knows? But it's not just done alone. What do we see in your read today, Aries? We just had to be hard-headed. But maybe that's our method, right? Maybe that's how we learn best. So we saw a challenge in front of us. We approached it in the most aggressive and intentional way possible, almost burned ourselves out completely in that process. But hey, we made it. And now that we made it, now that we have a chance to relax, let us look at the brightness of the future ahead, not just focusing on the misery of anxiety, because that will be there. Another challenge, another mountain will always be there to climb. But enjoy your time at the peak. What it's telling you at the end of the day is that, yeah, I found that the only person I could rely on truthfully was me. But when I take a step back and realize I still gave it my best, that doesn't mean it has to be the most difficult thing ever the next time something like this arises. There is happiness beyond my fear. So let's look to better things, meeting better situations and better people so that we can counteract it and do it better a second time. That's all I got for your read today, Aries. Hope this conversation helped. And yeah, the ram is hard-headed, but it is effective. Trust in your abilities, okay? I'll see you around.